Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters Innovation, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Piyush Chandra on the line. He's Director of Product Management working in AI over at Nauto. Piyush, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Adam. It's a pleasure.
All right, so excited to get today's topic. So we're going to go a little bit further into Nauto and what you're doing there. But before we do that, I want to go a little bit more into your background. So how did you get started in your career?
Well, I've been in my career for many years now. And I grew up in India, and that's where I studied. And back when I was growing up in India, coming from a middle-class family, you basically had two options. You could either become a doctor or you could become an engineer. My dad was an engineer, so I had a role model in my family, and I decided to become an engineer. I studied mechanical engineering, but there weren't a lot of jobs in mechanical engineering back then. Mm-hmm. So I chose to become a software engineer. So I did software engineering for a few years, and then I realized that the world is bigger than engineering. There is more to be done, and that's when I switched sides to the business side, and I did my MBA, and ever since then I've been more focused on not writing the code, but actually working with end users and understanding what is it that bothers them every day, and what is it that can deliver true business value. And I have carved out a niche for myself. I work with users to understand their problems, but the way I solve their problems is by leveraging emerging technologies. In my current role, I focus specifically on leveraging artificial intelligence to make our roads safer.
Man, I love this, and thank you for the background. Let's go. I want to switch it up. I want to go further into how you're doing that, but just to kick that off, let's talk a little bit more about Nauto. So tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Absolutely. So Nauto is a startup. It's based out of Palo Alto. So I am here in the Valley, and here you see all the newest and the greatest innovations people can come up with. Now, what Nauto does is we use artificial intelligence, and our purpose is to make our roads safer. Now, you will be surprised to hear that there are over 15 to 20,000 deaths because of car accidents every year just here in the U.S. And in over 75 to 80% of all these crashes, human error is the cause. Now, the purpose or the mission of our company is to use technology to build products, to build software that can help us reduce that number. And the way we do it is we have a camera device that has two views. It is constantly analyzing what the driver is doing to understand if he or she is distracted, if he or she is fatigued or getting drowsy. And we combine it with our external looking camera that is always looking at what is happening around the vehicle. And by putting these two together, we are able to understand if the vehicle is around or in a situation or is likely to be in a situation which is risky, and then combine it with, is the driver distracted or is the driver attentive to respond to a situation to respond to a risky situation. And when we determine that, yes, there is a likelihood of a risky situation, and there is also a likelihood that the driver might not be able to respond appropriately, that's where our device, our product comes into picture and alerts the driver. So our goal is to save lives using artificial intelligence.
Wow, that's what an amazing mission, number one. But number two, it just seems to me like the application possibilities are really endless here. And the end result of the more people that adopt this technology is the safer our roads become. So I love it. I mean, so it really is a win-win situation. So I know you mentioned that you're a startup. I'm just curious. So how far along are you? Is this been applied to fleets now, or where's the technology currently at? Give us some of that, please.
Absolutely. So Nauto has been around for many years. I might be mistaken, but I think the company was founded in 2015. So we have been around for a while. We have a product that is running in production. It's used by thousands of customers. We have over 700 million driven miles where our devices were installed.
Wow.
And yeah, so we have been doing this for a long time. But when I joined the company, I realized that when you are trying to fix how people make mistakes when they are driving, you have to put yourselves in the shoes of the driver and think of all the possibilities that could lead to a risky situation. And when I started doing that, I realized that, man, yeah, we have a product for sure, but there is so much more to be done. There is just endless possibilities how you can end up in a risky situation. So our product is constantly evolving, and we are just making it better and more robust so that it can decrease the number of accidents even more than it can do today.
Let's go further along the line on how AI is playing a role in this, and how AI is really playing a role in the development of what you're doing in the product, and constantly refining it. So tell us a little bit more about that, Ann.
Sure. So AI is at the heart of everything we do. Now, as I was describing, that our product looks at what the driver is doing. So our goal when we are looking at the driver is to understand if the driver is focused on the road or not, if he or she is getting fatigued, if he or she is getting drowsy, if the driver is busy on their phone, and so on. So there are many ways the driver could be distracted. Now, it is only through using AI that we are able to understand all these things. So our AI model that is looking at the driver is a multi-class model, and is always looking at the driver to figure out if he or she is now texting or is just holding a phone, or if the driver is eating now. If the driver starts getting drowsy, then you have to look for signs of drowsiness, which is you start rubbing your face, your eyes get glassy, and you start yawning, and over time your eyes start getting closed. So there are many signs of the drowsiness. And what AI does is we get a lot of label data that tells us that, okay, all these events are drowsiness, and there could be so many events that represent drowsiness. And by training on top of that data, our model then is able to understand that, okay, this is drowsiness, this is closing eyes, and this is just maybe squinting because there is glare in your eyes. So we have to differentiate in all those things, and it's only through using deep learning that we are able to do that. Now, same concept applies to the camera that is looking outside, because here we are constantly looking for situations which could be risky, and there are situations like if someone swerves into your lane, or someone who is right in front of you, the vehicle abruptly stops. So we have to be looking for all these signs, but then we have to be able to accurately understand what is risky, right? So that is closing the gap between the two vehicles, if someone is coming towards you, if there's a pedestrian on the road. So all that is happening on the external model side. And all of this is through analyzing millions of records. It's only through millions of records that we are able to differentiate between what is drowsy and what is just squinting, and what is normal braking and what is braking that could lead to a risky situation.
That's awesome. I love this. And I want more and more. You said 700 million miles. Did I hear that right? 700 million miles driven so far with the technology?
That's right, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's absolutely amazing. I love it. And I love the end result. I mean, the goal is to save lives, literally. So I think it's great what you're doing over there. So, Piyush, if somebody's listening to this and they want to learn more about Nauto, I mean, what's the best way for them to learn more about the product and the potential opportunities of them using it? I
think the most comprehensive source of information would be our website. So you can go to nauto.com, and we have the website. On our website, we have the details of our product, what are the things that we are able to do today. And we also have a blog on our website and a news section which we constantly update based on all the new features that we are adding to our product, what are the potential benefits, and how does the product work. So all that information can be found on our website.
That's awesome. Well, Piyush, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work that you're doing over at NATO to make our roads safer. So great stuff there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Piyush, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Adam. It was a pleasure.